Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everybody. So, episode 21 of the Versus Streams, the season finale. This is where it all comes down to the Battle of the Billionaires. But before we do get to that, let's say hi to the panel first. Thank you to the first panelist, Angry Vader, for suggesting this Versus stream. As I say to everybody who watches these streams, if you can message me a recommendation of a Versus stream, and if it actually passes the overall potential test, you automatically get slotted for the panel. So, yeah, Angry Vader, thank you for coming up with this one. And with that, give yourself a small plug and what's your channel about?
I don't really think, first of all, thank you for having me on. Second, I don't really have a channel. I just upload memes on there every once in a while. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's angry_Vader77.
Alrighty. And with him out of the way, we have the beautiful, awesome, fun-sized peach from the Jade Shadow channel, Mara Jade. How you doing?
Hello. Doing good. The winter weather is getting to me. Very tired, but semester's over, so I'll be getting back into pretty much the grind on YouTube.
Nice.
At least one video this week is all I had time to do. But it is what it is.
It was the 84 one, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I can't stand that damn movie anymore. It's like, I haven't even seen it and I can't stand it.
Well, I'm going to be watching it, like I said in the video. Steph from My Nerdy Home and I are going to be watching it together since we do a live stream Saturdays.
Yeah,
so we'll be watching it.
You know what? I might catch that stream. Fuck it. I'll catch that stream and just say, you know what? I'll listen to what you guys have to say because you know what? You're trusted sources in my book. And the next one, who has a beautiful singing voice. I mean, you guys should hear him sing the Grinch song, man. Mongo's Big Thanks. How are you, buddy?
Oh, I am doing great. Spent most of the day just in bed, bit of a cough, but very glad to be here. And it's always fun to be on this channel. And I'm Mongo's Big Thinks. You can find me on Twitter, Mongo's Big Thinks. You can find me on YouTube, Mongo's Big Thinks. Pretty easy to find. I just kind of make videos about whatever, recommendations about movies, that type of stuff. I like to have fun, but again, glad to be here talking about some more versus fights.
Awesome. So, yes, folks, when I originally came up with the versus idea, it's like, I mean, yeah, there's Death Battle. I mean, yeah, there's probably many other channels, but I would actually like to come up with some ones that are good, ones you probably haven't heard of. I mean, when I was thinking about the versus streams, it was only after the first versus stream that I did, which is a good segue into recapping them, John Wick versus the Accountant, which I believe Mara was a part of, along with Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Lethal will be here possibly, folks. I cannot promise he will be here, but he said he will try to get in. But anyway, yep, the first one we kicked off was John Wick versus the Accountant. John Wick squeezed out a win on that one, just by a pencil, shall we say. Then I was thinking, what's one that a lot of people haven't really thought of, but two characters that are kind of in the same area of insanity, shall we say, sort of. And I thought of Joker versus Bullseye. And a lot of people knowing who Bullseye has the adamantium in it, or his adamantium slight skeleton, not as much as Wolverine, but he does have plating, so to speak, on his skeleton. Even with all that, the Joker was just too much for him. How you doing, Megatron, Santa Megatron, and Ambassadorial Wing, Ian McLean, and Soul Assassin? Thank you all for dropping in. And then there was the third episode. This, sir and ladies and gents, and what's the opposite of sirs? Miss? Whatevers. Anyway, this one was the one that has been discussed over a decade, and it finally came to a perfect conclusion. Goku versus Superman. That was the longest versus stream we had, which was 2 hours, 3 minutes, but mostly it was because we just started talking about favorite stuff, but we eventually ended on the conclusion. Goku finally won. I mean, Death Battle says that Superman would win every time. It's like, you guys really don't pay attention, do you? But so, yeah, we finally, it's like, yeah, Goku actually has a one-shot kill move, so he would eke it out. Then, originally, the fourth episode was going to be Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho versus Naruto from Boruto. Basically, Naruto in his strongest incarnations. But because that didn't generate enough of a following, it didn't generate enough of an interest, I had to think on the fly, and I'm like, how about Black Widow versus Chun-Li? And I believe somebody actually did throw that out there, and it's like, fuck, that's a good idea. We're doing it. And so, yeah, that one had a good talk. I think it was Black Widow that actually squeezed out a win on that one, even against Thunder Thighs Lee. But, yep. And then there was the first Army versus stream, Xenomorphs versus EU Mandos, which, Mara, I believe you were on that one, I think.
I believe so.
With OG, and OG Star Wars folks, she's also a great person to have on. Hello, Lasso of Truth. Superman always will win. Well, he definitely didn't win that one. You just can't stop an instant kill move, which is the Hakai from Superman. But anyway, then the ultimate badassery of EU Star Wars Legends Sith Lord Showdown, Vitiate versus Sidious. That was my favorite versus stream, because everybody's always saying that Sidious was the most powerful and the best Sith Lord. It's like, and ever since I played Star Wars The Old Republic and seeing what Vitiate could do, it's like, he would, or as Lethal Lightning would say, lol. I just can't do it in the awesome Aussie accent, but yeah. Vitiate owned Sidious. Let's just put it that way, folks. And then, because Star Wars was just really on everybody's mind, and I decided to do some more Star Wars themes and whatnot, and I decided I wanted to just fucking stick it to Disney. So we then did episode 7, Rey Palpatine versus Valen from Old Republic. Because we had the emperors, now let's do the daughters of the emperors. And yes, there's going to be a lot of people who say Rey was the granddaughter. No. I explained it perfectly in that versus stream. Or if the clone is 100% genetically identical to Palpatine, that means that if they father a child, technically Palpatine, the progenitor of that clone, is also technically the father. He may not have been the donor, but he was the father. Maury, try to figure that out. Anyway, versus stream 8, we had to go back to some good old-fashioned awesome EU Sith Lord showdowns again. Malgus versus Vader. And that one was the one that I did the hat coming off. That was fun because I had my other hat underneath, and I had Lyndon do a little clip for Lethal because Lethal was in there. Oh, we lost Mongo. He'll be back. But yeah, because Lethal was in the Keep the Hat On stream or team, and it's like, sorry, buddy, I made a promise. So I pulled it off, but I also had my other hat on still. And I love Lyndon Howe from the Full Aussie, folks. He put the best little gotcha moment at the end with Chris Rock from, I think it was Stomp the Yard or whatever it was. And it's like, gotcha. Perfect little clip for Lethal at that. And And then, because I wanted to spite Disney even more, because I wanted to call out Disney for their cruel bastardation of Darth Kaitis, we did the Versus Stream episode 9, Darth Kaitis versus Emo Bitch Kylo Ren. And yes, the title still reads to this day, Emo Bitch Kylo Ren, because he is an emo bitch. And we all know who won that one. But anyway, then was the halfway through the season, so to speak, Jason Bourne versus the return of John Wick. That was actually a good one, but that's where I basically did out of 10s, or basically started the out of 10s, was how many would you give to one side, how many would you give to the other side? And yes, there are some scenarios where Jason Bourne could actually beat out on Wick. Then came Jaina Solo Fell versus Starkiller, which was another recommendation. Hold on one second, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. Just a small little interruption, but now we're getting back into it, and I'll have to go off audio for another second in a little bit. But anyway, that was a recommended from, I believe, Kamen Rider. I can't remember who it was. So Jaina Solo won that one. Then came Han Solo versus Atten Rand, non-force sensitive. And I believe Han Solo won that with Scoundrel's Luck. But Atten Rand also took a couple of wins too. Then there was the sword battle of Conan versus Aragorn. I believe Aragorn won that. I cannot remember all of the results. I usually gonna have to go back and watch them, but yeah. Then the ultimate cat fight, which was Mongo's debut on my channel, I believe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cheetah versus Tigra. And Mongo actually changed his vote.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We actually got Mongo to change his vote. And it turned out that Tigra actually won over Cheetah. And then there was the Ultimate Killers showdown. Punisher versus Grim Knight. I believe Mara was in that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Grim Knight versus what?
It was Punisher versus Grim Knight.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think I went with Grim Knight.
Yeah, we all went with Grim Knight. Let's be frankly honest here. I mean, there was some where Punisher did win out of 10, but Grim Knight took the most. And then we did another RMA one, which was Xenomorphs versus the Yuuzhan Vong from the EU Legends. And I believe the Xenomorphs won that one. The Mandos killed the Xenomorphs in the first army battle, but then the Xenomorphs got their day of victory versus the Yuuzhan Vong. Because let's face it, folks, if a facehugger got onto a Yuuzhan Vong, we don't know what the hell would come out. Oh, hold on one second, folks. And I'm back. So then there was Senya Tyrrell versus Count Dooku. Senya from SWTOR online Star Wars game. And then we went to the anime battle of Yusuke Urameshi versus Ryu, which was by request. And then we did another by request, Hellboy versus Spawn, and that was my 600 celebration stream as well. That one was hard to do because both were basically unkillable. And then 2 weeks ago was Darth Vader versus Darth Revan. And now it leads to the ultimate badass battle of the billionaires, folks. Batman versus Iron Man. Place your bets, and holy shit, we got a Santa Megatron. Shit. You know what? That might actually be one that I do. So, dude, you just got yourself a versus stream. And you're going to be on the panel if you want to be on the panel. So let me just type that in while I'm at it. So, without further ado, let's get into this. First things first, Dylan, who would win between Batman and Iron Man?
I'm going to go with Batman.
Alrighty. Mara?
Batman. I sent you that meme. That's my argument in a nutshell.
Yeah, the qualifications that are not really, shall we say, matters in this case. But yes, it's still funny. But yes, got it. Mongo.
I think Batman.
Okay, I'm about to be totally outvoted here. I think there is a chance that Iron Man might actually squeeze out a win.
Ooh.
Now, let me just finish writing this down here because, yeah. Mara Jade versus Ahsoka Tano. Alrighty. And Megatron. Okay, good. Now, let me get rid of that. So, let's get into, we all know what Batman is capable of. We all know his gadgetry, his genius mind, and everything. So, we also know Iron Man and his gadgetry and his genius mind. They're both billionaires. They're both playboys. They're both philanthropists. They're both geniuses. But as Mara said, she did send me that one awesome meme. So I'm going to read it out because I can't really screen share on the Kindle. But yes, there it is. Billionaire, genius, playboy, philanthropist is Stark's qualifications. And here's Bruce Wayne's. Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, martial artist, bodybuilder, detective, scientist, linguist. And then there was also another cute little meme where Bruce and Stark were playing a game of chess. And Bruce is like, "May I suggest your next move?" He's like, No, I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out how to beat you and also spell my name at the same time with the pieces. I mean, that's just pure Stark right there, folks. That's the Stark arrogance. Now, both of these characters are also one very important thing, which Batfleck actually explains in that horrible rendition of Justice League. They're both futurists. They both are looking ahead at possible threats in the future. And it's because of this that's led to their more advanced suits and their advanced weaponry and whatnot. Now, Stark literally has his top tier armor, which is his bleeding edge armor, which literally is in his blood. Comes out through the skin and seals up. They tried doing that for or something close to that in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame with the nanotech, because let's face it, it just wouldn't really make a lot of sense to have it come out of his skin. So this is also the reason why I think Stark would take some of these is because he also has a fucking satellite that can lock onto his enemy and just blast him from orbit. How do you block that? I mean, unless you know that he has it. And he also has Veronica or Hulkbuster, which is adaptable to a degree, but also not adaptable to a degree. I mean, don't get me wrong, folks. Batman is a genius. If he has any prep time, Stark loses. If he has, literally,
you have the assumption of how much prep time do each one of them have.
I mean, I would actually give them both 24 hours prep time, because even with prep time, Stark could actually have an advantage too. Like I said, they're both futurists. They're both geniuses. They are both fighters. And yeah, while I will give this to Batman, he is the greater martial artist, because Tony only knows like 1 or 2 martial arts, where Batman knows 16 or 32.
Oh God, like he knows a lot. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
to say
Batman.
That meme is like an understatement.
Exactly.
So,
and
that's what I'm saying. Like, prep time. Yes, Stark has that satellite, but at the same time, I think that also seems to go against, like Stark's personality, because I don't think he would even use it.
True, he would probably. I mean, unless he really thought he was going to lose, that it would be basically. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. It would be absolute last resort.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, he might not even use the satellite, but we will keep it as a reserve.
Doesn't Batman have a satellite too?
Batman? He has a visual satellite, I believe, surveying Gotham.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
He doesn't have anything that can come down from space and give him a hand. But problem with Batman versus superpowered beings is he requires prep time in order to win. There are a bunch of times where Bruce loses the first fight with a new villain he's never faced before. And that is indeed true. When he first fought Bane, he got his back broke.
Mm-hmm.
When he first fought Man-Bat, he lost. Man-Bat got away. When he first fought Killer Croc, it's like, oh shit, I'm going to need new armor. He kind of tore this shit up. When he first fought Catwoman, well, I almost thought he was going to have sex with her. But she ended up putting a claw in his side, so it's like, damn.
That's why
too.
Even with like one fight he loses, like I still give it to Batman, because I'm not saying like Tony Stark is not like this, but one thing about Batman is that he adapts, he learns. So he might lose the first fights, but he learns everything about his opponent as like he's fighting him.
Mm-hmm. So he learns as he fights.
And I think Tony's more hot-headed too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, one thing I've noticed just by watching the MCU, and yes, I know it's not the same as comics, folks. A lot of comics fans out there, hey, I used to be a comic person. I'm just not anymore. I haven't opened up a comic book since I was like 13. No offense to anybody who is a comic person, because I know Mara Jade's a comic person.
Mm.
But one thing I know about Iron Man, he goes in guns blazing. He'll go in distance-wise. That's not always the best tactic, especially with somebody like Batman. If Batman knows you're coming in at a distance, you're in trouble. Because he'll close that distance. He'll take what he can a little bit here and there, but he'll close that distance. And if he gets close up to you, if he has like an EMP little gadget thing, he'll slap on, because we know that Iron Man is susceptible to EMPs every now and then. It might not last completely as long as EMPs usually do, but it will give his systems a hiccup, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
it's all Batman needs.
Yeah.
So
The difference between Stark and Bruce is when you strip away the suits, vehicles, gadgets, Bruce can still kick ass. And that is indeed true. Or the Oz, good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Pastor G, it's also good to see you. How many other people have come on in? Lord Vader, always good to see you.
Bruce Wayne is much more disciplined than Tony Stark. Because you get to factor in personality. Tony Stark is much more of a hothead than Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, like I said, might lose the first fight, but as he's losing, he's learning.
And he'd even know when to pull out of the fight too. I don't think Tony would do that.
No.
No, Tony's been
one of
he's
at time.
He's the sum of his experiences when it comes to Tony. He's the sum of his experiences. He doesn't ever want to lose, so he'll go all out when he's fighting. Where there have been instances where an EMP has knocked his suit out, but like I said, it is a very quick reset. The more advanced the suit, the lesser the reset, or the quicker the reset. Let's put it that way. There we go. Okay, Mongo, if you have to, that's okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, my internet's dog crap right now, but thanks again. Lovely to see you guys. Yeah, I'll be out in the chat.
All righty, dude. Take it easy. And thank you for stopping in.
Good night, Mongo.
But yeah, and that is actually where Bruce does, you know what? Shit. I'm changing my vote. Folks, I don't usually do that. Son of a bitch. I usually get the other people to change their votes. But you know what? Mara just basically pointed out the number one thing that is a key factor in this. The difference between mental and determination and discipline. Now, let's keep going. What were you going to say, Mara?
I was just going to... I can't... Honestly, can I remember what I was going to say? Something about Iron Man. But, it's David's comment. Like that, as you pointed out, that it depends on what armor Iron Man is using. So that would be a factor in the verses. So...
Yeah. I mean, we're going to...
try using EMP against Iron Man and it detected it, but that's also in the advanced stages of his armor. So,
I mean, if we go bleeding edge armor or nanotech armor, Iron Man would cut Batman to ribbons. I'm just saying because this is stuff, or the second Tony thinks it, his armor is reacting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really break down movies like Infinity War and Endgame, the second he thought, or you can tell in his heads up display, the second he thought of it, even before he said it, this stuff was coming up on his display.
Yeah.
Now, again, if Batman gets in close, he could wreak a lot of damage onto Iron Man. He can use a lot of his own gadgets. And you know what? He could even use his freaking Batmobile because that damn thing has a remote start and a remote control thing. This, folks, because if we put Stark in his bleeding armor or in his bleeding edge, it would give him so much of an advantage. So we are also going to give Batman as much evening the playing field as possible, where he does have Alfred in his ear just in case, because we also know that Tony Stark has his own AI in his ear. So this is basically going to be kind of a 2-on-2. Alfred with Batman and Jarvis or Friday, depending on who you prefer. I mean, I prefer Friday because, well, that voice is just hot. She's Irish. I'm Irish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased. And yes, hit him with the Batmobile, says Mongo's big things.
Pretty much.
And David, Batman in that new God chair. I think Batman is the only human that could survive that damn chair because of the intellect that he has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw Justice World Apocalypse War, and it's like, holy shit. But yeah. So
Another thing I'd like to bring up is that, like, in Batman vs Superman, he had the mech suit, and that was tailored to fight Superman. So if he knew anything about Iron Man, he could modify something like that to fight Iron Man too, for like flight or something like that, I guess.
oh yeah, I mean, if these two are in the same universe together,
He's
let's
already
face
thought of a
it, Bruce
contingency.
or Wayne Industries and Stark Industries, or Wayne Enterprises and Stark Industries would be corporate rivals.
Yeah.
Holy shit, they would be corporate rivals.
And if he knew that he was Iron Man, or if he knew about Iron Man, he probably already would think of a contingency just knowing that he's out there.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, because he, even within the Justice League, he kept files on its members. So he always had contingency plans for anyone he could, even friends he could potentially face. So he all thought that there was potential that Iron Man would, there would be a day where he'd have to fight him. He would be studying him the whole time.
One of my favorite lines that Batman has ever said in all media, meaning comics, meaning movies, cartoon movies, all of it, was in the movie Justice League Doom, where he explained these were all my ideas to pacify you if any of you went rogue. And they're all bitching about him. It's like such a breach of privacy and trust. And Superman's like, we would never do that to you. Then you're damn fools.
Yeah.
That's such a good movie.
I mean, Kevin Conroy spit that line like it was born to be gifted out of his mouth. It's like, then you're damn fools. I just can't. I can't get that voice right at all. I will never even try. But the line itself.
My brother had a chance to talk to him. My brother had a chance to talk
Hold on. God damn it. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to have to message my friend and tell him I'm fucking live right now. Give me one moment.
The Hellbat suit is pretty damn. Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's from the comics, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't read the comics that much.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. My friend from one of my friends from Germany was calling me, and it's like he calls me a dick, and I'm like, I'm live, you jackass. I can't talk right now. That's the beautiful thing. If any of you all know what it's like to live in upstate New York, not that shitty ass city that everybody loves to visit, but upstate New York. And he's just trying to now guilt trip me. Shut up, man. Now I'm gonna mute his ass. Oh, he made a good ham and turnip soup. Awesome. Now shut up. I'm busy. Say again?
Isn't it like 3 something in the morning for him?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. He's happy about his soup, I guess.
He works for he actually does work for DOD, so
All right.
he's coming handy at a couple of times for me. So, but yeah, dude, go to sleep for Christ's sake. Stop thinking about food all the time. Build your Legos and shut up. He has the 1989 Batwing in Lego form.
Oh God, I want that badly.
Yeah,
No room for anything.
Say again.
I said no. I have no room for anything else right now.
But yeah, so God damn it, Marty, you threw me off my fucking train of thought. Where was I, folks?
We were just talking about.
My brother had a chance to talk to Kevin Conroy, so.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
He had I was watching it was not so much an interview / chats, and Kevin Conroy was saying that his favorite scene was Mask of the Phantasm when he's at his parents' grave.
Yeah.
That's his favorite scene, like the film, and so many like one way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. So, but
it's always interesting though.
Then you're damn fools, pretty much, and you're a damn fool.
Yeah.
It's like literally, it's like it's basically Batman saying that you can't have even complete trust in your allies. You have to at least you have at least have like some reservations, and which is true. You can't exactly completely trust anyone, and that's what he's like. So if he at all had any inkling that Tony Stark or Iron Man, even if he didn't know it was Tony Stark, but Iron Man could potentially be a threat, even before his first encounter, he's starting to study him.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
he was still the encounter, but that's still part of the learning process. But after that point, he'll be studying Iron Man.
And there's a chance that even Stark would be studying Batman, not Wayne, but Batman, because he doesn't know who Batman is yet.
Yes.
But he'd be like, yeah, we got a caped freak over in a city, and he does seem to be interesting. Jarvis, get on that.
Yeah.
And plus, if he did know that Iron Man was Tony Stark, I'm assuming he'd have a good rundown of his personality. And then he could bait him into a fight that he's going to lose.
Oh, yeah. I mean, here's another thing, folks. If Iron Man ever, or say these two were in a universe together, corporate rivals and all that stuff, if Stark ever did figure out who Batman was, he'd rat him out. Because if they knew that there was a confrontation coming, he would rat him out. He would or it would be a very destabilizing maneuver.
Yeah,
because let's face it. Oh, I do. You want to know why? Because here's the thing. Stark will do anything he has to win. I mean, he prepared and was constantly upgrading his armor for one purpose in the MCU. That was to face off against whatever was coming from not from Earth, but from space. And he did a pretty damn good job. He actually managed to make Thanos bleed with his Mark 50, which was the first iteration of nanotech. So it's like all that for a drop of blood. Well, dude, if you only realized how symbolic that drop of blood meant or was, he just managed to make God bleed. Like, as bad as everybody says Iron Man 2 is, it's like still had a very good and memorable line. If you can make God bleed, people will cease to believe in him.
True.
So imagine if he found out that Bruce Wayne was Batman. He'd be like, oh, you want to fight me? Well, okay, Jarvis snaps his fingers. Every piece of information that he has on Bruce Wayne and Batman just got sent to the news. He'd be like, bring it.
It's true.
Oh, you want to try outing me as a whatchamacallit? Oh, okay. Yeah, everybody, I'm Iron Man. So imagine that. Because remember, folks, in the MCU, he outs himself in the very first freaking movie. And I accidentally yanked out my headphones, so I couldn't hear if anybody was saying something. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no. Nope. I was listening.
But yeah, let's see what we got in the chat. I am trying. You know what? My New Year's resolution, folks. Everybody says New Year, me bullshit. Well, here's my New Year's resolution, not revolution, although it might turn into a revolution. I'm going to try to be a little bit more engaging with the chat starting today when it comes to versus streams. That's a simple enough resolution. So, Pastor G, been in New York several times, city and upstate. Upstate New York's where it's at, Pastor G. I mean, everybody loves to go to New York City, see the new tower, go to freaking Manhattan, fish off the pier at Canarsie and all that stuff. It's a cool place. It's just massively expensive, and I'm not going there. In upstate New York, it's fucking beautiful. You have small towns of very friendly people who will not shoot at you if you're from out of state or anything like that. I mean, just don't go to any of the reservations and call it a reservation. They might shoot at you for that. But yeah, it's a very beautiful place, man. To quote BVS, if we believe there is even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. You're absolutely right, Mongo.
Yep. As I said, like he even had an inkling that there was even a potential for Iron Man. For him to have to fight Iron Man, he would be studying him.
That's what Lethal's doing right now, Mongo.
So
thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. I went to university in upstate. Sorry, I'm reading.
Buffalo, New York.
Say that again?
I have been to Buffalo, New York, because I had to deploy with a unit from up there.
Nice.
So I was close to the Canadian border.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would actually go
to
the actual city itself, New York City. I want to visit the Statue of Liberty because my parents had a chance to get their names engraved inside the Statue of Liberty, and they screwed up the spelling of our name. So I want to find it.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, so I want to find it so I can take a picture of it.
Nice. I've seen Lady Liberty from a distance, and I gotta say, she's a lot smaller than I gave them credit for. I mean, the size of her in Ghostbusters 2, man, it's like everybody else is laughing about the joke, and I'm thinking, that is one big woman. But then when I was actually at New York City, I was on the Brooklyn Bridge, and I'm looking at Lady. I'm like, damn, that plinth is basically the thing she's standing on. I always thought that it was just one solid thing on the. Wow, she is small, but she's also so big. I mean, Schrodinger's cat. Anyway. Mm-hmm. But yes, New York City does have its charms, but I will always prefer where I live. Upstate New York, Syracuse, just outside of the city. Places like that, small towns, friendly people. That's where it's at.
Absolutely.
Now, back to the show. Devastator has a crush on Lady Liberty. Oh, Jesus, Santa Megatron. Every time I hear about Devastator, I'm sorry, I'm just brought back to Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen, and those wrecking balls.
That was so bad.
No. Nope. We're pretending that
those wrecking. Yeah, I know. I try to put it out of my mind, but I have film eidetic memory, so I can't, unfortunately. Main problem was that they put real world politics in that, and I didn't like it.
Pretty much.
But anyway, so yeah, Stark versus Wayne, Iron Man versus the Batman. I'm pretty sure that Batman would actually, if he was going up against Stark, he would have maybe not a nanotech suit, but it would be a teched out suit.
Or you could possibly figure out how his nanotech works and maybe find a way to disrupt it.
Yeah. Or he could just do what frickin' Thanos did and just beat the shit out of him until there's barely any left. It's like, oh, nice helmet, rips it off. Oh, nice helmet, rips it off again. I mean, that's basically how Thanos won. He just kept on beating on Stark until, well, all of that stuff was just chipping right off. Nah, but yeah, Batman would actually.
I think that would be more like old man Bruce Wayne, because like when Bruce Wayne got to the point where like you see him, for example, in Dark Knight Returns, he's at a point where it's kind of where Zack Snyder drew inspiration from for the Batman in BVS. We got to a point where he's like basically Batman 20 years like into his prime, and people arguing that Batman doesn't kill, and I'm like, well, did you read Dark Knight Returns? But yeah, but he gets to a point where like he is, for one way of putting it, more of a brawler.
Yeah,
like he would get to that point. Like I would say, like if he's like older Bruce Wayne Batman, then yeah, like he would get to the point where like Thanos is just beating on Iron Man. Bruce Wayne would.
Yeah. I mean, he would, or a lot of people love to say, Batman doesn't kill. It's like, fuck you, you never read the comics. Fuck you, you never watched Michael Keaton. Also,
or any of the movies.
I mean, the only reason why they did the whole Christian Bale no killing thing, let's face it, folks, it's because it was a whole little societal cry out. It's like, he's supposed to be a superhero. It's like, fuck you, he's actually more of an anti-hero than anything.
No, I know he killed him. Batman Begins. I've pointed that out, Lord Vader, to other people who didn't want to believe that.
And in Dark Knight,
killed in Batman Begins. It's like the whole, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to say. You left him to die, that's kill by omission.
Yeah.
And in the Dark Knight,
leaving a person to die on the legal sense.
Yeah, people who say Batman doesn't kill are like coming from the mindset of Batman doesn't murder. And I'm like, yes, that's true. Batman will not murder you. But if it comes down to it and the only way to stop you is to kill you, he will do it. It would be
yes,
it would be the last thing he would want to do, but he will do it.
exactly.
Mhm.
And that's the thing, folks. Batman will cross that line. Yes, so will Iron Man, because let's face it, Iron Man has had to kill.
Just look at the first Iron Man movie.
No, the first Iron Man movie, he did not kill Obadiah Stane. That was Gwyneth Paltrow.
I was talking about the terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. He fucking laid waste to them.
Mhm.
I mean, he's like, you guys fucking attached a goddamn battery to my chest, you savages.
Yeah. So
You're gonna fucking die for that.
I will.
Oh
give
god,
this-
I could turn this
I
into
will
such
give that.
a.
It was awesome to see him do that to Black Sabbath's Iron Man. So
Mhm.
Oh, I would have loved. That was a missed opportunity.
I'm sure there's an edit of that out there. I'm curious now.
There has to be. If there is, message it to me. That would just make my Christmas. I mean, Lethal, I got Aquaman's Trident. I mean, that already made my Christmas, but yeah, Mara, if you could ever find a cut like that, send it to me. That would make my Christmas. Say again?
I said I'll look for it. I could swear I saw something like that, but I'll look for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, if these two fight, this is a good one. I mean, Batman, he's got technologically he is outclassed.
Mhm.
Intellectually, or Stark is outclassed, because, well, the discipline level that Bruce has. Let's put it this way, folks. You can't play mind games with Batman,
Mhm.
especially if it's a mind reader. Because just a fun little fact, while I was watching the animated show or the animated series one time, somebody was calling Bruce in his head, or had a little thing in his head, and it's like, or no, this was Batman Beyond. And he's like, how'd you know it wasn't, or how do you know it wasn't in your head? There was a voice in my head that kept on calling me Bruce. He's like, wait, what? And then he looks at him, he's like, wait, what do you call yourself in your... Oh. Because Bruce looks at Terry and he's like, you really have to ask that? I mean, seriously, folks, this is a guy whose trauma has made him psychotic in a way,
Mhm.
but he's one of the most genius psychotics out there. So, if Batman was the person to ever go bad, well, which he did in some of the Dark Universes, Grim Knight, the Batman Who Laughs, he slaughters the Justice League. The Justice League wouldn't see it coming. He's killed gods.
Yeah, that's why I'm giving it to Batman. It's like he's like, this is a guy who has taken on and defeated gods.
Yeah. It's
And
like
I'm sorry, I love Tony Stark. He's of the characters in the MCU, he's probably my favorite, but I'm still giving it to Batman overall.
yeah. I mean, when it comes down to it, Batman has fought gods. He's won. He's killed. No matter what they throw at him, he's coming out on top. That's just the way it is. He'll figure a fucking way out of it. He'll figure a way through it. And if he is forced to think as much as he has to get through a fight, Tony Stark's going to be way too arrogant. So yeah, I am going to switch my vote to Bruce Wayne and Batman, because that's the thing. If you push Wayne or Batman to the point where he's like, okay, I'm going to have to start thinking 5 steps ahead in this fight. And, well, okay, this guy has nanotech. all right, there's a possibility he might even have something up in the sky. So, Alfred, hack.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And, well, folks, we all know that Alfred can hack, and he's very good at it, and the Bat computer is pretty much semi-sentient by itself, considering how advanced it is. You honestly think that Jarvis is running or can't be hacked? He was hacked in fucking Avengers 1. So, yeah, he's fallible. So, yes, Iron Man can actually be hacked. He can actually be, his arrogance could actually put him at a disadvantage. The only reason he decided to go nanotech was because of what happened in Civil War when Ant-Man got in his suit.
One thing I will say in defense of him, though, he is quick thinking. Like if he's like in Iron Man 2 when he was getting his butt kicked by Whiplash. What is it called? The thing where War Machine and Iron Man, when they fought in his mansion, they shot each other with the repulsors and the explosion.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, this isn't looking. Dude, stick out your hand. We're gonna kill him by almost killing us.
But yeah, I will give him that. I still don't think it'd be enough to beat Batman, but it would help.
Yeah, I mean, but again, if Tony Stark does find himself outclassed, if he actually does find himself thinking, fuck, I need an edge, I'm calling Veronica. And yeah, Batman will be taken aback. It's like, okay, now he has a giant suit of armor. Fuck this. I'm just going to fucking continue beating the shit out of him.
But he could call in the Batmobile. Like in the first Arkham game, he used the Batmobile to push Bane into the ocean when he was too big for him. He could do something similar to that. And like, I'm pretty sure the Batmobile has an EMP, so we could probably tailor it like that.
That's also true because I do not believe that the Hulk or that suit was built to fight the Hulk, not to fight on any technological standpoint. So yeah, it would be, or it wouldn't be EMP insulated.
No, it wouldn't be. The Hulkbuster was basically just created in case the Hulk went on a rampage, which we saw in Age of Ultron.
Yep. And Bruce could either bring in either the Batmobile, the Batwing, even launch a missile from the Bat Sub. Might even get the Bat Bike, the Bat Pod,
the Bat Zeppelin.
The Bat Zeppelin. Yeah. Shit, why not even the Bat Bike or the Bat Bicycle?
He has like called Bat Spawn or something like that. He has a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if Batman was a Transformer, he'd be called Gadgetron.
Yeah.
There you go. Batman's Hellbat versus Iron Man's Hulkbuster. The Hellbat suit. You're right. He pretty much does have a Hulkbuster himself. He also has one too. Yeah. Shit. I just forgot about that. So it's like, oh, you got a big suit. Alfred, send him the Hellbat.
Pretty much. It's like that's what I said. Like, you know, like sometimes, yes, Tony will, his opponent will one up him, but Bruce Wayne is so intellectually superior to. That's like basically his superpower. It's his intellectual superiority to just about everyone around him. That, like, you know, Tony might one up at one point, like say bring in the Hulkbuster, and then Bruce Wayne is like, "Oh, that's cute." Send in the Hellbat.
He'd basically he'd fucking Annie his jokes. He's like, oh wow, man. It's like, oh, cute. Okay. I got that. I have an army. We have a Hulk. Oh. I have a Bat family.
Pretty much.
What else you guys got? It's Batman basically is the ultimate fuck you to anything that Marvel can throw at him.
And it's
Pretty
like,
much.
Batman's my guy. I've always been a Batman fan.
Yeah, I mean, shit. When I was younger, of course I liked Superman, but I've always had an affinity for Batman too. I had more Batman toys than anything.
Same.
He was just awesome. Like,
Yeah,
he's like Dark Knight. Like, how cool is that? Dark Knight.
And everybody's like, he doesn't kill. It's like he's called the Dark Knight for a fucking reason.
Yeah. My dad will to goad me. He'll be like, Batman isn't a superhero, and and like when he does that, I'll just send him the clip from I think it's the movie Angus, where like the George C. Scott is giving the Superman isn't brave speech. I'm like, okay, you really want to do that? Here it is.
Let me guess, your dad's a Superman fan?
Well, he was a DC fan like me when he was growing up, but his two big ones were Green Lantern and Flash. Actually, those were his favorites.
I like the Flash. I like basically my two favorites from DC, Flash and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since they god modded Superman when they made Doomsday a Kryptonian, I've lost. It's like you guys turned Superman off for me. I prefer Batman.
Well, like I said, I've always preferred Batman, but I'm also like my dad. I love Green Lantern and the Flash. So those are
Justice
kind of
League
I don't
or
say like my top three, but like what I grew up with.
the first or Justice League War, which was I believe the second movie in the DC AU. I love the talk between Green Lantern and Batman. And he's like, wait, you got no superpowers whatsoever? What's this do? He has Green Lantern's ring, folks, in his hand.
Yeah.
What's this do? It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, we had Green Lantern pretty much.
I mean, I'm like, wow, man, that's how Bruce Wayne can frickin' take your damn credit card without even touching you. Not that he'd need it. I mean,
Oh, that made me
there's
think of
just-
the Bat credit card.
Oh god.
oh my god. 7 million. Cha-ching! Never leave the cave without it. Yeah. That was just what Chris O'Donnell, dude, you're a great actor in NCIS. Don't ever do Robin again.
He wasn't bad in Batman Forever, but like you don't. But Batman and Robin, it's like
Yeah, it's just too fucking boy wonderish.
yeah. You know,
It's like
you
boy
watch,
wonder lust.
you watch it for the lulls at that point. You don't watch it as like
Yeah.
a Batman.
But I was a kid during that, so it's like, even as a kid, it was weird. It's like, dude, yeah, for me, for love, it's like, she wants to kill you, dick. He's not just calling you by your name, he's also calling you a dick.
Yeah.
It's because you're thinking with your dick. Dick. I mean, that's also what Tony Stark likes to how he likes to think too. I mean, Jesus, dude nails a woman. Well, before he got with Pepper, he was like, what, 12 for 12 with all the Victoria's Secret models. He's like, yes and no. That's an interesting question. Yes or no? March we had a scheduling conflict, but thankfully December we're twins or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yikes. Okay. How many STDs do you have? You can always expect it to be a comedy hour here at Orange Hat Reviews, folks. I'm here all freaking week. And all of next week. And all the week after that. You get the point. Back to the Batman versus Hulkbuster Iron Man, everything that he's throwing at him and just can't win. So, okay, he's got the Hulkbuster, lol, Hellbat. He'd actually might go for broke and say, okay, now I got a fucking satellite on Gotham City. What are you going to do? Oh, you mean that satellite that my butler just freaking shut down?
There you go.
Is that the best you got? Jarvis, what is he talking about? Sir? I gotta go. Go where, Jarvis? Jesus. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna talk, or I quit, sir. This guy's a lot better than you. I quit. This is basically where this is going, folks. I mean, as much as Tony's, even with the bleeding edge armor, that is absolute top tier shit. Freaking Batman could think up something. All Batman would have to do is probably just flip a coin. Yeah, Tails, you just lost. What? Fuck! And, I mean, that's just how it is, basically. He's Batman, of course he's going to freaking win. But in all honesty, if he goes for broke, out of 10, because we are actually over the hour, we could go for a little long, but we are starting to get a little tired. So, out of 10, let's go. Angry Vader, out of 10, how many does Batman take?
How many what? How many hits?
No, how many wins does Batman take out of 10 or out of 10 battles?
I'd say 7 at least. Like conservatively, I'd say 7.
All right. Mara?
I would give him probably 8 because I would give the first fight to Tony.
Yeah.
Just like basically like I said, Batman would likely lose it, but he's learning at the same time. One draw I could see potentially happening, but overall Batman takes the majority of them.
Yeah, because basically he'll lose, then draw, and then it's like, I got your number now, bitch.
Yeah.
And it isn't a swimsuit model either that's going to be calling. And me, I agree with Mara. It would be 8 out of 10. One goes to one goes to Iron Man, and the other goes to a draw. But after that, that's like there's just no way that he's winning anymore. It's like, fuck. Okay, get me the freaking Hulkbuster. Oh shit, he's got one too. Get me the freaking hell. Oh shit, he's got one too. Get me one of the. Oh fuck, he's got one of those too. Dude, I'm gonna sue you for freaking stealing my shit. That's the only way that freaking Stark would probably win is by a lawsuit. Who knows? I mean, folks, this was one-sided. I mean, it was an incredibly stimulating one-sided battle of intellect and billionaires. The only way that Tony Stark is winning this fight is through courts, maybe. Let's face it.
No, I'm picturing them in a courtroom.
It's like, yeah, Your Honor, he stole all my designs and did it better.
I'm playing in front of Judge Judy right now.
Oh my god! She just retired too. Imagine that being her last case.
A 1 hour special.
Yeah, and it'd be just her just rolling her eyes, being like, "Oh my fucking god, you gave me 2 fucking whiny kids to art with way too much fucking money and freaking daddy issues." Well, one has daddy issues, other has, how best to put this? He's Batman. That's the only way that you can put it. He's Batman. But anyway, folks, oh my gosh, this was great. So the ultimate winner is Batman here. And I think we can all healthily agree to that. Sadly, Lethal could not make it, but I am going to thank him anyway. And this is going to wrap up the season finale of the Versus Streams Season 1. Stay tuned. In 2 weeks, we got Season 2 coming. And it's going to kick off on New Year's night. So yeah, folks, thank you to Mara and Angry Vader. Give yourselves one last plug before we go.
Yeah, hi. My name's Angry Vader. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at angry_Vader77.
Awesome. And Mara, what you got for tomorrow?
Well, I generally go by Mara Jade. YouTube is Jade Shadow in the parentheses. Twitter is OG Mara Jade. Twitch is Jade_Fire, and Parlor is Jade_Saber or something like that. I can't remember. I keep people guessing, and even myself guessing. I can't remember what I did for my username on Parlor, but I have a Parlor account now, just in case Twitter goes the way of the 1984, which is what it looks like to be. But as far as tomorrow, as of now, barring anything unforeseen, I'll be doing my weekly live stream I do with Steph from Minority Home, aka Steph, where we talk about this week's past pop culture news, which we're talking about probably some of the things I talked about in some videos. And I also go on the Raging Geek Jedi show afterwards at 12 a.m. Eastern. Talk about, again, pop culture news as well as do trivia. And tomorrow's trivia is Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So if you want to join in, tune in for that. And I don't know about any videos coming up next week. It all depends on what news breaks. But next week, look for me on Drunk 3PO's channel. It'll be moved to Tuesday evening around 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then at some point next week, doing a live stream on Wonder Woman 84, which I'll be watching via HBO Max with Minority Home. So there it is. My plans.
Alrighty, and before I do go, folks, I do want to let you know next Friday is Christmas, so my Underworld Blood Wars discussion stream will not be that night, because even though I will not be with family on Christmas, because, well, yeah, family lives a fair bit away, everybody else has their families, and they deserve to be with them. So I have it set for Sunday night, the 27th at 9 p.m. So definitely look for that. And I just realized that Demochenheim won't be able to join that because he's going to be busy with Fatal J. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, this has been a truly blessed thing that I honestly did not expect to have it become a staple to my channel, but I'm glad it did. And I really do got to thank every single one of my panelists throughout the entire season. Ryan Kinnell, Kamen, Ryder, everybody. OG Star Wars, Lethal, Mara, Angry Vader, Mongo, everybody who has also been in the chat. Happy Dino, Pastor G, Santa Megatron. Oh my gosh, guys. Every single one of you, the support you have shown me this year has truly been so great. And I am truly, truly blessed to know each and every one of you guys. And, oh, before we also end, I do want to say, if you guys are looking for more hilarity and stuff to watch, stay tuned for, well, less than 12 hours. I think it's like more like 9 or 11 or 10 hours now from now. The Full Aussie with Lyndon Howe, Raging Rhino, and Lethal Lightning. Those guys truly know how to get shit going. Sadly, YouTube has a serious bias against Aussies. And, well, you know what? Fuck YouTube. Anyway. So, yeah, folks, thank you so much And stay tuned for in 2 weeks. Even though the season ends for season 1, 2 weeks starts season 2, and it's going to be a blast back to the 80s with 2 icons, one a cult classic icon, Commando versus Rambo. Schwarzenegger versus Stallone. So yeah, folks, currently that panel is open, meaning if you want to be a part of it, send me a message and I will pencil you in for it. So anyway, folks, this is going to wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all have a wonderful Merry Christmas. Don't get too drunk on New Year's, especially if you're going to be on the panel. You can get drunk after. Well, actually, no, wait. You're going to be getting, or just don't get too hung over because it's actually going to be 9 p.m. on the 1st, not 9 p.m. on the 31st. But anyway, yeah, folks, thank you all for tuning in. Have a Merry Christmas. See y'all Sunday instead of Christmas night. This has been Orange Hat Reviews and guests. And somewhere out there in the world of the comic amalgam area, Tony Stark is whining like a little bitch because he lost to a billionaire orphan. Have a good one, folks. And always remember,